Good morning, Bookfighters. It is Monday, October 18th, and this video comes to you in 3 parts. Part 1, Theatre. So this week I read Henry IV Part 1, and it was Teen Read Week. It's Teen Read Week next week, and because I'm on Monday, I'm going to be reading a teen book, and so I'm going to do that next week, even though you've all picked yours this week, because I read Henry IV Part 1 and 2, it turns out. Anyway, so I'm going to talk to you a bit about theatre, just a little bit, because I've got stock bubble question time to do, the much anticipated return of that, and I want to ask a question of my own. So this is going to be quite a short little rant about theatre, but I do want to talk about theatre and the truth. And if you can have truth in theatre, because it's a really difficult medium to put truth across in, and I'm going to put forward today that it's an impossible medium to put truth across in, because it's a medium, you go and watch a play to be entertained. That is the fundamental purpose of a play, and as such, the words are going to be delivered, in that way. If I go down to one of my housemates tonight and I say, "What are we doing tonight?" I'll say it like that. I'll say, "Well, what are we doing tonight?" But I couldn't say that on a stage, even though that's truthful. That is the most truthful way that I could possibly say that. On stage, I'd say something like, "So, what's the plan for tonight then?" Because you have to put your personality across, even though it isn't quite your personality. You have to embellish it, you have to make it entertaining, you have to make it the perception of realism. You have to make it that weird thing where people, this is what they expect for a play to be realistic and not boring. If I just talked how I usually talk, if I talk, it wouldn't be entertaining for a person, so you can't put that truth across. However, with Shakespeare, it's different, because these periods in time, that Shakespeare writes about, we don't have a lot of information. We don't know what truth was like in that time. In fact, our stereotype of what Shakespeare's time was like comes from Shakespeare's plays, and so in that fashion, his plays are inherently truthful, because we are reading something he knows far more about than we do, and so we're getting the perception of what our perception is. Now, I'm not sure if that made sense, but you can work out for yourself if it did or not, because I don't have much time to film this video. But yeah, that's interesting, and that isn't really my question for today. But it's interesting to think about. Anyway, Henry IV Part 1, I absolutely love. It's one of my favourite plays. Falstaff is one of the funniest characters, and the performances that I've seen at Shakespeare's Globe it were really good too, and I recommend you give them a read. I love Shakespeare. I'm not sure if you know that about me or not, but I'm Shakespeare's biggest fan. Probably not, but I'm a big fan of Shakespeare. And so yeah, I inevitably enjoyed Henry IV Part 1 and 2, which I enjoy his history plays. Henry II is a bit weird. Henry II? No. Henry IV Part 2 is a little bit weird. Because it kind of ends halfway through, and then it's just kind of a sequence of events. But anyway, now it's time for sock puppet question time.
What is your middle name, and what is the origin story of your middle name?
My middle name is Kevin, and that's my middle name because that was my dad's first name, and that's what we do in this country, I think. Because we're not like Shakespeare. We don't name I wouldn't be Kevin the second. So instead, that's just my middle name.
Do you agree or disagree with the really long quote that Lauren read out from Toward Amnesia?
Do you know what? I'm going to go with the majority. If the majority of people agreed with it, then I agree with it too, because I trust you.
Do you have any siblings? How many? Can you relate to Katniss's protectiveness of Prim, similar to the way Katie does? Or are you the younger sibling and have no idea of the stress that this book causes?
I have lots of siblings and stuff. I have lots, and they're all younger than me. And they kind of lived in different places, but they're all younger than me, and I can, and not just with the Hunger Games, but with other things. If any of you have ever seen Grave of the Fireflies, it's about a brother and his little sister, and that film has broken me like no other film ever has. I was an emotional wreck, so I recommend that film anyway. It's Hayao Miyazaki, big anime fan, so.
Do you find that you learn more from a discussion, actual discussion, not a debate, with someone you agree with or someone who you disagree with on a particular topic?
Interesting point. I tend to get annoyed by having discussions with people who I disagree with, because I'm not very good at having discussions. That is a great flaw of mine. I tend to think I'm right a lot, and I shouldn't, because then you don't learn anything. So I suppose I can see, why that would be true, but I remember vaguely people saying it's about the person. If people can argue and just put their opinion across instead of forcing their opinion across, then it's different than someone who's saying, I'm right and you're wrong. I can't take anything from that person, so yeah.
Princess Bride, great movie or greatest movie?
I've never seen it.
Well, go and watch it then.
What, now?
Yes, now!
Wait, you can't just tell me what to do. I don't have a...
Go.
Great movie. Although I expect I don't watch it with a certain sense of, oh my god, this is so nostalgic and brilliant that you all do. Anyway, greatest movie, Lion King.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Are you a dumper or a dumpy?
I guess both. I've dumped people and I've been dumped. But I don't think I can be categorized in one or the other. I'm sure I can't be, but I haven't read Abundance of Catherines. That's interesting. I don't know, but I guess both in the middle. Okay, so that's the end of the highly anticipated soft proper question time. I hope it was all that you expected. It's so rubbish. For Teen Read Week, I'm going to be reading I Coriander by Sally Gardner. And Lauren, I'll see you tomorrow.